Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. I was just sitting here in my favorite chair, relaxing, with a glass of ice cold Colt 45 in
In
5D.
5D.
That's all I had. That's all I had. Channel some Billy D. Williams and maybe get a sponsorship from Colt 45. They're not
Was
going to sponsor us.
no, they're not. We're not their target audience.
We are not their target. Also, I don't actually like Colt 45.
I don't know what it tastes like. I've never had one. It's malt liquor, right?
Yep.
What does malt liquor mean? Because if it's anything like actual malt, I'm just not in.
You're not going to be in. That's what they use. So most beer uses a combination of like barley, hops, and malt, but malt liquor is more malt forward. So that's your primary grain that's going into a malt liquor. At least the way they discuss a malt liquor
Okay.
is its malt forward alcohol.
Okay. I hate hops, so maybe I'll like this. I feel like maybe I just haven't tried enough of malty booze.
Well, the good news is you can go down to any local convenience store and find yourself an ice cold can of Colt
I
45.
I am very happy that that worked out for us. Thank you very much. All right, so the last week has been kind of insane on my end. So I didn't do the thing I said I was going to do because I'm a giant piece of shit. I am
Whip, 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 whip.
exactly surprising absolutely no one, especially not my mother.
Hey, what did you do last week?
What do you mean?
I was out. What'd you do?
Oh, last week I did a episode nothing arc solo is what it's named on the website, and I got really baked and rambled for about 20 minutes.
What'd you talk about?
I talked about why Control is a really good game.
Of course.
I talked about the current things that I was watching, Hawaii Five O, NCIS, all that
Oh
stuff.
my
Right?
god.
Well, not NCIS the original, the New Orleans ones with
It's
Scott.
like you wanted to have a block that I was just not going to
Well,
listen.
no, no, no.
So it worked out perfect.
How it always happens is these shows have enough substance to keep the second brain entertained while first brain plays video games. Dude, that's just exactly what it is. So while I sit there and I focus on video games, I've got something going on in the background, and then the voices in my head are quiet. So that's just that's how I enjoy my evenings. But no, it's definitely one of those shows you throw on in the background. It's to me it's the same concept as like The People's Court, which is a show that I put on in the background when I'm doing work.
I know you do. You love
Sometimes
that
it's
shit.
hilarious. Most of the time, I don't even pay attention. But yeah, it was a very ranty episode, and I think TK actually ended up TK, one of our viewers and friends, actually came in at part of it and was like, "I'm sleepy now. Okay, thanks, bye." God.
Probably the correct response.
But yeah, that's what the episode was about.
Okay.
Tangents and video games that I'm playing. I talked a little bit about comics, but at this point, it's probably just me rambling and falling asleep.
Neat.
But I have done other things. I've been watch. I did watch a new show. It was in that like I need something safe to binge, not scary wife material. But I started watching SEAL Team. Have you heard of this? I know it's not also not your forte in a whole different way, but because it's not a procedural for sure.
Mm. Action show.
Yeah, action drama. They try to do a little bit of spycraft, and it's actually good. The only reason I gave it a chance is because David Boreanaz
There it is.
he's man pretty, and now that he's older, he's rugged. He used to be
Ooh.
boyishly handsome. Now he's rugged.
Okay.
But anyway, so I started watching it, and I know a lot of folks know that I was in the military. Doesn't mean that I attest to any of this shit. All I'm saying is I have a different point of view. So I will say I like how it handles certain topics, but before I jump too much into that, it's about a SEAL team. Um,
So it's about a team of sentient seals.
yes, actually, that works on all the ways possible for that for this. Well done, sir. I applaud your art. I'll kill myself later.
Please.
So it's about a SEAL team, and it's a lot about their missions, mostly about their missions, as opposed to other shows where they try to do a little too much on the family side. There is definitely some of the family side, the how their spouses deal with things, but it doesn't go too far into it, because what I've found is most shows that do that, they don't really understand what that dynamic is like, and it's overly dramatic in certain aspects. I think this show is handling that side of it really well, but what they're also doing very well is just kind of showing that almost in crowd that gets created within teams like this, and how that affects the relationships with even other people that they're serving next to, but they're not part of like the elite team or the right MOS, and there's always that like weird division. That's kind of fun, because not a lot of shows show that in a way that isn't overly jockey, right? So
Okay.
I think they're doing a good job. Plot lines, or take your national security threat of the day, add a couple of twists. I think where where I really like the show is the acting they're coming through, and just the interactions and the chemistry that folks have. I will say one of the actors I'm having a hard time with. He comes in as the almost the eyes of the audience. He's the new guy, young guy, right? Like gets introduced to to this type of operation. I don't know if it was acting, but there were a couple parts where I think they were asking a little too much of him on the drama side. He comes a little bit almost cardboard cutout-ish. Do you know what I mean?
Sure. Well,
but he's redeemed himself in a couple other situations. It's just he's also young looking. I don't know if he's actually young, but he's young looking, and he's young sounding.
He's 12.
Nice. So sometimes when you're supposed to, like, it's authentic, it's real. I've served with people like this, but it feels weird because he comes in trying to like take charge, and sometimes it feels like it's
Mr. President, Mr. President.
Yeah, like
there's a terrorist.
Things like that. And he's like boy band pretty, so it's really hard to take him seriously as a rugged operator. I'm just gonna say it. I'll just put that out there.
Yeah, just from the picture I'm seeing here, even Boreanaz grew a beard.
Yeah. Well, and from this picture, can you tell who I'm talking about?
Yeah, the guy without a beard.
That one's got a little fucking tiny goatee.
Yeah.
But anyways, so honestly, 4.5 out of 5. I think in its genre, obviously, I don't know that it'll win any Oscars, or obviously it's TV. It doesn't win Oscars.
Emmys.
I know this. I was being, facetious and whatnot. Big word. So you think I'm smarty smart? He's nodding for those just listening to the audio. But yeah, 4.5 out of 5. They're doing the war genre drama show pretty well. I feel like if we could cross this with the Amazon show with John Krasinski, based on at this point, it's the same guy that did Rainbow Six, the writer, Clancy.
Tom Clancy.
So Tom Clancy had a series about.
Oh, isn't that like Jack Ryan or
Jack
whatever?
Ryan? That's where I was trying to go. We got there, big guy. But
I can't do action drama. The one I allow is Rookie. I can't explain it. I don't know what I find appealing about the Rookie. I enjoy the Rookie, but other than that, my wife watched all these fucking action drama things, and I can't. I just don't care.
Yeah, that's fair. I feel that way of most anything that's slice of life. I just don't care what's up with these people's lives. Give me a monster. Show me something extraordinary, not everyday life.
Do a trick.
Yeah, exactly. Do a flip. Yeah, 4.5 out of 5. Solid. I think folks that are into this kind of show are probably already watching it, because I think it's 4 seasons in. But yeah, it's a good show. I like it.
All right.
So, you've been watching.
Why didn't you cover this last week?
Because I hadn't seen it last week.
Just being a dick. Yeah, I'm doing my my weekend double features. So
Yeah.
let's see. Last week when I was out on my anniversary last week while we were recording. So that's why I wasn't here. But that weekend before I left for my anniversary, we did our double feature. We did 1988's The Blob with Kevin Dillon, which I had seen before, and damn it, that one holds up. Even my wife is like, anytime where they're not doing the bad green screen stuff and they're doing practical effects, they look fantastic. I mean, there's just oh, excuse me. There's just a couple of little like green screen shots. I mean, and, like it's probably the best you could get for the day, but like it's the best you could get for the day, and the day was 1988. So
That's like trying to go back and watch like Anaconda, right? And looking at
right,
that snake, and you're like,
right, but
it's a PS2 game.
right, but this more cuts it up with a lot of practical. Like there's way
Mm.
more practical stuff than green screen stuff, and it
Well,
looks
that's
great.
good.
Um, so I'd already seen the Blob, but the new one that we watched was well, not new. And you might have to double check me on the date for this, Eduardo. I
Okay.
want to say make a guess. Even though you know nothing, I just want you to make a guess. When do you think Jeff Goldblum's The Fly? It's not his movie, but
Yeah, yeah. 84.
you want to say 84? David Cronenberg's The Fly, starring Jeff Goldblum. There it is. I actually want to say like 92, maybe 93.
Really? Okay.
I want to go that late.
1986.
Okay. Okay, we're in between there. Wow. Man, so I got to say it look for being 86, 2 years older than me, that movie looks great. The Fly, really great gross out stuff.
Okay.
You know, which is that like that's Cronenberg's bread and butter. That's what he does.
And that was a lot of practical effects too. Like,
I can't recall any CG shot other than maybe some like electric-y
I was
effects
thinking
around the
that in
pod.
some of the lighting. So it was just mostly practical.
Yeah, and even the pod, the electrically effects, I think like they didn't even do like a zappy when it teleported. It was mostly just light flashing from inside of it.
Oh,
So
interesting.
yeah, no,
Full disclosure, I've never seen this, but I've seen plenty of stills to remember that some of the costumes are real cool. They're grotesque. It's awesome.
oh, there was one of the best parts. I guess minor spoiler. One of the best parts, Jeff
From
Goldblum's character is like,
1986, everybody.
yeah.
Spoiler from 1986.
Well, I mean, if you haven't seen it, you really should. It's really good. That's where all this is going. It's really good. There's this great scene where Jeff Goldblum's character is like started pretty physically transforming into the Fly, and he's talking about how like he doesn't have to eat food anymore, and then at the end of his, or he doesn't have to chew food anymore. His teeth are starting to fall out, and at the end of his little speech, he just goes and just like throws up this white viscous nastiness,
I
and then you
saw.
hear the slurping of him sucking up the Twinkie or whatever he was eating. But it's just like he plays the character so well because it is driving him insane. Like it is. He's going crazy from this process because it's affecting his DNA and the structure of his brain. And so he's stuck between being fascinated by what's happening to him and being horrified by what's happening to him. So he has these moments of like that genuine Goldblum excitement,
Uh huh.
but talking about the horrible things he's going through. Like he even starts a shrine to his old body in his medicine cabinet of all the pieces of him that have fallen off,
Wow.
including his penis,
Fun.
ears, teeth, just anything that's sort of fallen off of him is just stored in his little museum that he's keeping to chronicle his changing into this new being.
Okay, so is he coming at it from I'm a scientist experiencing something new, or is he just 100% batshit crazy?
He's a scientist experiencing something new, but then the other half of him hates that it's happening.
Okay, so like he's recognizing that he's losing his humanity. His intellectual brain is like, wow, this is fascinating. But his, like emotional brain is like,
Right.
what in the fuck am I going to do?
And it's kind of coming out in these violent mood swings. And I haven't rewatched it in a long time, but I think it would hold up. No, it does. So in the chat, talking about how it holds up. Yeah, no, this one actually holds up really, really well. If you're into like sort of the gross out horror, Cronenberg is the king, and he's the
Yeah.
king for a reason. And this is one of those reasons. And Goldblum in it. Goldblum's fantastic. Gina Davis playing the love interest is fantastic, but Gina Davis is fantastic in everything. So let's not fuck around.
She does get the job done.
I'm saying Gina Davis is a goddamn gem.
Give it a rating.
Um, Damn, honestly, it's probably five pukey Twinkies out of five pukey Twinkies.
Wow, a perfect
had
score. They're not very common here.
Coming off of the blob took a little bit to get into
Okay.
sort of like you see it early and you get little hits of it, but you don't like get into some full-on blob action until a clip into the movie. Where the Fly, I think, even though it doesn't just jump directly into him mutating into a fly, you get great character development up front that helps you really slide into this quick progression.
It sounds like it, and a lot of folks talk about the movie this way, that it's not just a horror movie. It's up there with like Alien. It
Yep.
brings a lot more to the genre than just stabby, gore, blood.
Yep. And wrapped up in a grotesque body horror.
Yeah.
So this really smart movie about humanity that is well acted, well shot, is all wrapped up in a total, gooey, sticky mess. And it's great.
All right. I am, obviously I'm in, but we'll see when I get to watch it.
Yeah.
I feel like you kind of started with the better one up front, because I know you watched something else.
I think you're going to be a little surprised. So
okay.
let me get into this weekend's, what I just watched on Saturday. We just did another double feature. So this one, and this was the order we watched it in, but I'm going to kind of do the review out of order. So we watched Insidious for the first time, and then my wife saw Poltergeist for the first time.
The original.
I believe that is not a remake. Yes, though.
Okay.
Maybe I'm just every so often I get really surprised by one of those horror movies finding that it's like a remake of like a 1920s film, and I'm like, what? It just happened. So yeah, to my knowledge, Poltergeist is the original, but maybe this is one of those times where I'll fucking suddenly be shocked or something. So coming off of Poltergeist, boy, I still really liked Poltergeist, even though Poltergeist had a ton of CG that does not hold up. Poltergeist, okay, maybe that one. I'm going to double down on this bet. Make a Poltergeist guess. What year?
Oh yeah, that's gotta be. It's not 90s. That's still 80s. That late 80s maybe.
I'm gonna double down and go 93 again, because I actually there's quite a bit of CG in this film, and bad CG.
Yeah,
bad CG, and I feel like that was really.
Dude, we're both way fucking off. 1982.
Poltergeist?
Yup, 1982.
Wow.
It is an older movie. That's why when you say effects don't hold up, I'm like, that's okay.
Well, I'll say maybe that's why so many people are so fond, is those effects maybe were fantastic for the time, because it was so FX heavy, but not on the practicals. There were practicals, and the couple of practicals, one of them, my wife insisted we rewind it like 3 times so she could see if she saw how they did it, and we guessed it close enough, but was still insanely impressive. But it's all the chairs, it's done in one shot, one smooth here to here and back. The chairs are around the table, you walk away, you come back, the chairs are all perfectly stacked on the table.
Yeah,
such a good shot because it's all done in one sweep. You should adjust the
I don't have a vid for this, so I'm gonna.
You don't have an Insidious one?
You hadn't announced it yet. Okay. You started.
I did say Insidious.
Okay, my bad. You started going on a tangent about Poltergeist, so I was like, I don't have a thing for this.
Either way, so yeah. So, but there were lots of CG effects, and goddamn it, not one of them holds up. Even the big tree monster that I think was done practical is still not great. What's funny is it came out the oh, you know what, damn it, I should have known that it was as old as it is, because it came out the year after Evil Dead did, and it has a scene that is very weirdly close to the Evil Dead tree rape scene, but there's no way, especially in the 1980s, with how soon or with how far apart they were, there's no way somebody copied the other one.
No,
Just two folks came up with that independently.
Unless Sam Raimi did some work in college that this other person happened to have seen or something, right?
Maybe, but
it's
no, because this Poltergeist is Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, but Evil Dead is Raimi.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I don't think Spielberg was watching Raimi's college tapes. Just saying. Either way, still really like Poltergeist, but I actually walked away from, like, both me and my wife agreed Poltergeist is the better movie of Insidious than Poltergeist.
Okay.
But I actually think Poltergeist is one of those movies that could use a modern remake. I actually think
they did that, right?
An actual remake or like a weird sequel?
It was a remake.
Oh, was it not good?
They basically did the same thing that they did with Evil Dead. They just took the movie and put it today.
Oh no, that is not what they did with Evil Dead. Evil Dead is a completely different movie.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry.
Evil Dead 2013 only takes the premise.
I know.
So Evil Dead 2013 is cabin in the woods. So is this just a haunted house, or are you saying they took
no
actual premise?
I'm pretty sure it's a shot for shot.
That's okay. I don't know how they screwed that up, because honestly, what I was wanting was a shot for shot remake with better effects, and I actually think it'd be great. I don't know how you screw that up, because the movie is so very well written. The only thing hurting Poltergeist is how dated the effects are. That is it. Other than, like, the movie would be a solid 5 out of 5 if the effects could hold up better. The new Evil Dead was pretty good. Yeah, 2013 Evil Dead is actually one of the movies I'm going to be watching this weekend. And I actually really like the 2013 Evil Dead that one, because it is just the premise. It's not a remake.
Yeah, there's a Hellraiser reboot in the works, says the chat.
Yes, there is. It's
is it
it's going to be a show, and it's going to be a lady Pinhead.
Okay, that's already been a thing, so that's fine.
Yeah.
A show? What, cable show?
I think it's like who the fuck's doing it? On small aside, new Hellraiser will be small reimagining on Hulu and HBO.
Okay.
Oh no, that's two separate. Oh, so, okay, sorry. Hulu is doing a movie. HBO is doing a TV series.
Okay, that's good, because with what they have to show, both on the, like, you know, horrific hellscapes and piercings and cuts and that stuff, and also on the, like, super sexual aspect of the whole thing, like, yeah, Hellraiser's an interesting genre of, well, not genre, interesting series, right?
I've actually only ever seen, I think, the first two. I really need to watch the
which is interesting because they're super different from each other.
Yes, yeah, the first two are very different.
Yeah, it's almost like it didn't catch whatever stride it caught until after 2, but number 1 was definitely fascinating. Anyways,
circling back around.
Tangents.
Circling back around. I'm really shocked. I think now I need to watch the new Poltergeist, because if it's a shot for shot remake, I really have to know what they did wrong, because honestly, that movie is damn near perfect, other than the effects that really don't hold up. It's very strong.
Yeah, you know what, it'd be interesting to do a side by side, like watch the original and then watch the new one.
Is it a shot for shot?
It says well, let's see here. The remake, of course, is literally remade shot by shot, is one of the reviewers said.
I do not understand how this could be bad then.
Well, let's watch it and we will fucking review it.
Yeah, that's shocking, because that's exactly what I thought this movie needed, and if you found a way to fuck that up,
it could just be terrible actors, right? I'm not saying it was. I don't remember.
You did something wrong. If it was bad, it's because the person who made this did something wrong. That's
Yeah,
what
I mean,
happened.
and it could also be that the premise just doesn't hold up anymore. It could.
I promise you it would.
Well, it's look, it's what I tell people when they talk about new Ghostbusters. I was like, it is a product of its time that I don't think can be captured again and
Bro,
done again.
Poltergeist is literally somebody moves in a house on a burial ground and the ghosts that are there are pissed.
Yeah,
That is a
but is
tale
that
told
too?
as
But is
time.
that a too generic concept to stand on its own now that so many things have come afterwards that have done this?
I don't think so. I would completely disagree with that.
I'm no, I'm asking the question. I'm not
Yeah,
saying.
yeah. I'm saying no. I don't
Hmm,
think so. I don't
okay,
agree.
well then that's
So
something that we'll have to watch. But
yeah, so 2015 Poltergeist. You are right. It is a thing. So I apparently I need to see that.
yeah,
So the new one we watched, or the one we had never seen before, was Insidious.
okay.
Uh, God, I'm glad you found a foreign poster.
Did I?
Yeah,
This is
that
awesome.
bottom part where it says "Eist Badesien," it's German, but that's good because I really The top says "Von den Maschen von Paranormal Activity und Saw,"
I'm not
so
even sorry.
that's a German
You know,
poster, but that's
you
fine
know, I
because
do this usually just inebriated in one way or
the
another.
original poster's tagline was "Insidious is insidious," and that's why I never saw this film. But so it's supposed to be sort of a spiritual successor to Poltergeist, and I actually really buy that.
Okay.
I really dug the premise. I really dug the carry out, but my wife pointed out the end, and I couldn't disagree with her. The the characters are so almost filled in, it's jarring. There's lots of little things that the movie sets up, and then just like they're moving into their new house, and the wife goes, "I don't want things to be like they were at the last house." That's never expanded upon. We don't know what things were like at the last house, or why they shouldn't be that way again.
Okay.
And there's just lots of little like there's these two characters who come in to look at the haunted house, and clearly the two like techs who are working there have some sort of animosity between them. That's never expanded upon at all. They just kind of don't get along apparently.
So what you're saying is this needs a director's cut.
That was my thought. Is
Yeah.
maybe a lot
Okay.
was removed from this movie, but the plot is really cool. Basically, this is going to be filled with spoilers. This movie's from 2015, and it's going to be spoiler packed.
2010.
No, okay, close enough. You've had 11 years. This is gonna have spoilers. So they kind of shift the focus of the haunting to where at first you think it's about a haunted house, but then they move. They get the fuck out of the
Uh-huh.
very clearly haunted house, and the new house is haunted. And so they go, "What the fuck is going on?" And it turns out that the houses are not haunted, their son is. So in the original house, their kid is walking around in this attic in their new house, and he falls over, and that night he goes to sleep, and then he never wakes up. He's in a coma. And it's a coma that medicine can't explain, and doctors don't know anything. 3 months later, he's back at home, still in the coma, still hasn't moved, and they're just giving him like care, trying to keep him alive, hoping he wakes up. And kind of what you find out as this haunting goes on is that the kid is able to astral project, but doesn't understand what that is. So he's just kind of running crazy with it while he sleeps. He astral projects in his dreams, but they're not dreams, they're him astral projecting.
Mm-hmm.
And so one day he gets way too far away from his body and gets lost in sort of this hell dimension of spirits, and all these spirits are coming to take his body and cross over and wreak havoc. And then, you find out towards the end, again, spoiler free, earmuffs if you don't want to hear.
Not spoiler free. He means the exact opposite of that.
Yeah. No, but trust me, keep listening. Spoiler filled. His dad was actually an astral projector when he was younger, and his mom hired this very same spiritualist person
Medium
to sort
of
of block
sorts.
his ability to do that and just kind of wave him clear of it. so his dad has to like re-astral project and go. It's just I liked this scope of running from like a haunted picture to almost like a dark fantasy of like
Yeah.
this family of astral projectors whose powers are beyond it runs this weird gamut that
It
kind of works.
So what's interesting to me, it actually kind of felt like a story within Mage, The
Yeah,
Awakening.
yeah, absolutely.
I liked it because of that aspect. So I agree.
Yeah. Yeah, like so my wife really she was like, man, the character work was so bad it really dragged the movie down.
Yeah.
For me, I'm actually interested enough in seeing the sequels at least because
Hmm.
I know it has 2 or 3 of them. So I'm actually kind of interested
You know, the worst
to
part is I've
see how
seen
it
them all, but I don't remember them
really.
because this is one of those movies in the background that I watch as well.
Hmm.
And I don't get to see horror very often, so like I'll end up seeing it on airplanes or things like that, and then
Sure.
other things are happening.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I walked away pretty happy, and I think, and I know actually, oh, excuse me, Poltergeist had several sequels as well, and I walked away
Yeah.
from both of these kind of wanting to check out both of the series like in entirety.
Well, I think you should definitely start by watching the remake because you've watched the original so
Yeah,
recently.
I am shocked at how a shot for shot remake could be bad. The original is so good.
I agree. I do like the original. I don't know. Maybe, like I said, maybe it's the acting. Maybe it just doesn't hit again. I'd have to rewatch it again myself
Or
because,
this is going to be one of those ones where I watch and go, yeah, that's great, and I don't get what people are pissed about. It's totally
like
possible.
Donnie Darko, he totally loves that movie.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Everyone should really waste their time on that pile of garbage.
Worst part is S Darko was worse.
Yeah, never bothered.
Uh, uh, he's lying. It's okay. We
Are you sure that's not one that you watched with Brooke without me? Because you guys also watched like Starship Troopers 3 without me. I
not three. I think it was two because three
no,
came
I've
out
seen
afterwards.
I've seen 2.
I thought you saw two afterwards.
No, I no.
You still
It
haven't
was
seen the giant mech one?
nope.
It's been years.
Yep.
Okay, well, it's Donnie
We,
Darko
we
was
recently bought the triple pack, so I can finally watch the third one.
you should, and then watch the TV show, and then go read the fucking book. Completely different, but go read the book.
I'm actually trying to get a hold of the Starship Troopers TV show, and it is so expensive.
The Roughnecks.
Roughnecks is like some of the DVDs you get like 5
Oh.
episodes for $80,
Wow.
and that's the only format they come in.
They don't have them on stream somewhere.
No,
Huh. Weird.
it's one of those ones where the rights are kind of floating between several companies.
Yeah. Those rights have been weird for years. It's an underground cult classic, but nobody wants to touch it. Roughnecks, the CGI show. Yes, we're talking about Starship Troopers, the CGI show called Roughnecks. I remember it was good.
I'm really hoping they make the new show that they've been talking about.
I do need some new a good sci-fi to get into. Like
There's no good Altered Carbon season 1 was probably the last really solid sci-fi show I saw, and then season 2 was terrible.
I still can't believe you didn't like the Expanse show. It continues to be good. But yeah, we do need something like that.
The only good bug is a dead bug. That's what we need.
Well, did you ever end up checking out the was it Almost Human with
Maybe
not Eric Bana? I'm an idiot. Shit, I'm terrible at this. Played Bones in the new Star Trek run. Was Judge Dredd in the new Dredd. The Boys.
It's either Keith Urban or Kyle Urban.
Yeah, that's the problem. I can't think which one.
Yeah, I always get them backwards too.
I think it's Kyle Urban.
I think he's Kyle.
Yeah. So he was a detective in that show that gets paired with an android. That is a line of androids that has been discontinued because they were too emotional.
Carl Urban.
Carl, it's not even Kyle. We are the worst at this.
Carl with a Carl Urban.
Carl Urban. Carl with a K.
Carl with a K.
Anyways, did you watch that show?
No.
So disappointing. It was good. It was Very similar to technology wise, sci-fi elements wise is Minority Report.
I hated Minority Report.
Yeah, but again, the world, the technology, how they do things, the aesthetics was very very much that. Um, so it was a solid show. Although I guess it was sort of a police procedural, but it's more about in the same way that Altered Carbon was. Yeah, they go and they're solving these crimes, but it's more about what the fuck is going on in the bigger picture. But anyways,
You know, it was like that, but was terrible. Fucking Bright.
oh my god.
That was awful.
I It felt like they took the concept of an after school special, put it in a fantasy world. It could have been it had so much potential.
Yep.
That whole like I had been waiting for something like that fantasy noir kind of show.
What else has he done?
Um
Keep going.
who?
David Ayer, I'm pretty sure. It was also the guy who did Suicide Squad that was terrible. Not the new one, the old one.
No, I thought he did one really good thing, and that's how they greenlit these other.
Oh, and that's like I need to know what the one good thing he did was, because all I'm thinking of off the top of my head are straight up stinkers and him whining about what stinkers they are and going like, yeah, but if I got to do mine, it'd be way better. And I'm like, but you're really awful. So, okay, so he wrote U571.
Okay, which wasn't terrible.
He wrote Fast and Furious, the screenplay.
The original?
Apparently.
Okay, go
Training
on.
Day.
That was a good movie.
But no, he wrote the screenplay. That means somebody wrote a story and he turned it into a screenplay.
Yeah.
It's not written by, he's screenplay. So his first two is screenplay. Training Day, he wrote.
It's fantastic.
Then Dark Blue and SWAT, both screenplay.
Okay. Well, SWAT because it was a remake.
Sure.
Yeah.
Then written by, all of these next ones are written by Harsh Times, End of Watch, Sabotage, Fury, Suicide Squad.
Okay, hold on. End of Watch was pretty good. What was the next one?
Did I see End of Watch? I didn't. Does he do anything but fucking cop dramas? Oh my god. Fuck me, what a one note. So he did Sabotage and Fury, which I think is that tank movie with Shia LaBeouf.
That one was also not bad. Hey, that wasn't a cop drama.
Yeah, nope, it's a soldier drama. Hey, but so that's all. So what did he actually direct? Because that's what I'm actually more concerned about.
Okay,
is what he directed. So he directed Harsh Times, never saw it. Street Kings, LCD Sound System Pow Pow.
Okay.
End of Watch, Sabotage, Fury, Lil Wayne, Wiz Khalifa, Imagine Dragons, Logic, Ty Dolla, Sign and X, Ambassadors, Sucker for Pain, the video short.
Wow.
And then
the name is longer than the goddamn film.
Yeah. Oh, and apparently he didn't direct Suicide Squad. He's not on here for it. So somebody else fucking took an awful thing he wrote and then directed it super poorly. So that's cool. But he did direct Bright. And fuck. Oh no, never mind. He did direct Suicide Squad. There it is. It's just between two very long titles that look like it was a well, because some of them are like two lines. And so it's in with a couple of those, so it just looked like it was the second line on something else. No, yeah, he did direct it and he did an awful job at that. So it looks like as far as directing goes, you liked End of Watch apparently, and you liked Fury.
Yeah.
So he got two.
But neither of those were. So End of Watch was good, but again, you'd have to be into the cop drama.
Did you see Street Kings?
I'm trying to remember which one.
Keanu Reeves, Forrest Whitaker, Hugh Laurie, Chris Evans. Wow, great cast. Cedric the Entertainer, Jay Moore, Terry Crews, Common, Naomi Harris. Yeah, I've never seen this, but it has an amazing cast. But fuck, I have a hard time trying. Oh, here we go. Keanu Reeves is in a police uniform. So guess what it is?
Yep.
Cop drama.
I feel like I did see this. I don't remember thinking it was amazing, but
this dude sucks. How do we make sure he doesn't get work anymore?
Well,
What's
look,
he doing
hey,
next?
again, it's all about context. Within the context of U-Ball getting work, I'd rather.
Does he still get work?
Oyer, I'm sure he does. Oh, we're doing the rabbit hole. Let's take a look at U-Ball's most recent fucking accomplishments.
Well, he did. I'm trying to figure out how to spell his fucking name.
UWE is his first name.
Is that what it is? UWEBOLL. Okay, there we go. Who did Postal? Okay, let's see if U-Bowl is still getting work. I have to hope that by now he's not.
He might be getting work as a fighter because he's threatening to fight so many fucking people.
So I'm not going to count producer credits because producing something is not writing or directing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. He has not directed a movie since Rampage President Down in 2016.
Okay.
And as far as writing goes, he has not written a movie since Rampage President Down in 2016. He is still producing. He just produced The Decline in 2020 and House of Evil in 2017.
Okay, so he's doing something, but he's taking a step back. Like,
he's putting out his money to make money off of his money, which is acceptable.
I mean, yeah, I get it. I'm glad we're but in a world where he could potentially get work, let's leave David Ayer alone.
Well, let's go ahead and have David Ayer do something that's worth watching, and then we'll leave David Ayer alone.
I don't know that they trust him with anything anymore.
I mean, I fucking wouldn't.
I wouldn't. He's so mad. Okay, if you were to write a cop drama, what kind of cop drama would you write? Come on. That it sucks because it's difficult. I get it, but it's interesting.
Honestly, if I was going to write a cop drama, it would have to be something so ridiculously not a cop drama that it's borderline mocking it. Like, anytime a cop drama would zig, I would purposely zag even to spite the story that's happening.
But okay, all jokes aside, you don't like the genre, so fix it.
The problem with the genre is that it's cliche as fuck. They're
sure.
all the same movie.
Sure, but there's ways to take things. So take Iron Man 3. They fixed the route that fucking franchise was going because they took a different approach.
Here's a better example. If I was going to make a cop drama, I would Thor Ragnarok. A complete change in tone, a complete change in style, a complete change in look, a complete change in the scale and type of story that you're telling.
Okay.
Like, it's a full Etch-a-Sketch. And that's what I mean. Anytime you find yourself walking into the cop drama cliche of any sort, I would just blatantly not do it, even if it hurt the story.
Give me some examples. Like,
I don't think I would ever make reluctant partners of different ages. I don't think the villain would be anybody that either of them had ever looked into or had a run-in with before. Honestly, I don't think I would cut it with little bits of their personal life showing how dedicated and diehard they are. I don't think I would ever have them get in so much trouble they turn in their badge. I don't think I would have them go out of their way to blatantly disregard every single law that cops have to follow. Like, you can't do any of it because then you're just doing another shitty buddy cop movie. Even movies that aren't buddy cop movies are getting old. The fucking Rush Hour movies only worked for a couple of movies. The Shanghai Noon movies only worked for a couple of movies because they're all the same movie.
It really sounds like you have a problem with buddy cop movies.
Yes, like buddy action movies.
Okay.
But the problem is that they're all just cut and paste films. It's fucking paint by numbers. What are you doing? Any time yet? My dog's up and wandering around. They just make these things so paint by numbers. It's painful.
Yeah.
You know what's good. Sure, there might be some funny lines or funny bits, but as far as a movie goes, a film experience of a story I'm trying to watch, no, nothing happens. There aren't any stakes in them. It's like the fucking Solo movie. Well, when your cast is all characters that we know don't die, what are the stakes?
And the new characters you've been introduced to, you don't give a fuck about. Sorry, you're going to get me on this whole tangent.
And it's the same thing for the buddy cop. There's always going to be either a plucky young rookie or an experienced older cop who's going to die in one of their arms. The villain is always going to get the upper hand in the second act, only to redeem him in the third act.
But I feel like that's just formulaic movies, not just cop dramas. I wanted you to go in and fix that genre.
That genre is so saturated with cliches, you can't get away from it. And that's my fix. My fix is reinvent it.
Sure.
And yes, you're building a better mousetrap.
Pitch the movie. What's your plot?
I don't have that. My plot is it's a cop drama that's just about two cops, and then none of the other stuff that I don't have time. I haven't sat here and worked on this. I haven't been working it out because again, it's not like fixing a movie. You can go and you can say, this arc doesn't work. This character should have done this, or you should do this and that. Fixing a whole trope machine, it's.
I don't know. I was because you got me thinking, and I'm like, I don't know. If I had to 5-second plot, cop runs over a little kid, gets sent to jail, and we follow his whole traversal as being basically the enemy inside now.
How's that a buddy cop film? Where's the buddy?
I said cop drama. You turned into buddy cop. That's why I was like, wow, you really have a problem with buddy cop. Because we were not talking about buddy cop at all. No. We were talking about cop dramas.
Training Day and all those are essentially buddy cop films. They're just not buddy cop comedies. They're buddy cop action films. I'm willing to bet most of those will follow the same paint by number shit, just not funny.
Training Day was good because it did subvert that with in a good way. I don't want to ruin it for you, but you're never going to watch it, right?
I'm never going to watch Training Day.
So there is one cliche, and the problem now is that it's been so long that I don't remember if the cliche started there or if it's the thing that has been used forever. So you'll tell me. So partway through his first day being taught the ropes by his senior officer, spoiler, it turns out that officer is the bad guy.
Yeah, no, it's a really famous scene. It's been parodied in Robot Chicken and a bunch of other stuff.
And then it turns from a cop drama, let me show you the tough streets, to almost a fight for your, well, it's exactly this, a fight for your life. Don't really know who to trust because you're basically like your introduction to the police force. This part of the police force is basically just turned on you. So Training Day is a cop drama that I think subverts some of those expectations. The cliche I was talking about wasn't that cliche. It was the cliche of he saves somebody sometime earlier on, and it turns out to get him out of trouble later on. That cliche. That's one of those where, again, I don't know if it started there, but it's been used a shit ton since. Yeah. For sure. But again, that's what I mean. Like, how would you reinvent dramas, that?
I still think it's very broad. Again, you're fixing a genre. You're not fixing
that's
a
true,
movie. I think to breathe some life into it, you need to approach it from a very, very different angle. The problem is it's a pretty saturated genre.
Yeah, that's
so everybody's
true.
Already stepping on each other's toes. Like I don't have it, to be honest. I don't have the fresh angle to approach them with. But just like with Westerns, sometimes a genre kind of needs to be taken out to pasture and only trotted out when somebody wants to give something a shot. Seriously though, like people really only pull out a Western when they really want to give something a shot. You don't see tons of Westerns where for a long time, Westerns were the hot shit. And at this point, maybe cop drama can be one of those things that we just kind of tuck away for a while. Like maybe we're just done with cop dramas for like 10 years and then we can come back and kind of breathe some life into it. But I think it's saturated because unfortunately with a thing like cop drama, you know, that it doesn't lend itself as well to something like slashers. Slasher still has a lot of room for new angles to come in for a slasher, and we're still seeing that with things like Terrifier. You know, Terrifier was a slasher movie that came in and went, you know what I'm going to do? It's not tell you about the slasher. Well, who is he? He kills people. Why? Because he does. But that, and like really, they don't even say his name. He's just a dude dressed as a clown killing people. You never find out why. You never, and then the end gives you a twist where you go, well, what the fuck was that? We don't know. We don't know. That's the movie. And love that or hate that, it at least was a fresh take on slashers. Like you had, like slashers always had some big dramatic background or some reason for, and this was just like, no, he kills people. He's cuckoo. Ooh,
Yeah,
that's him. I think cop drama, unfortunately, is narrowed in. We're only telling story. Like I guess you could go to space and do a space cop drama, but at what point are you just going to fall into those same pitfalls in space?
Fair enough.
I think honestly, you want me to fix it? Give it 10 years for something interesting to happen.
Okay, so you don't think that Pitch Black was a cop drama?
I mean, I hate you and I like that movie, but you're not entirely
right.
wrong.
That's kind of the challenge with sometimes when we get on opposing
Pitch Black
things.
was good.
Pitch Black was good.
Pitch Black was good.
How did you feel about the not Pitch Black but Pitch Black? The
was it Riddick?
Riddick. Yeah, I think it was Riddick.
You know he's doing another one, right?
I'm looking forward to him. I love that series.
Even a second one, like, was it great?
Nope.
Was it still fun? Sure.
I feel like Riddick 2 was like Highlander 2. Like, hey, on its own, it's a thing.
It is not Riddick 2. Those movies are Pitch Black, Chronicles of Riddick, and Riddick.
No, I thought no. Depending on what part of the fucking world you were looking at, it was shit. What was it? It was Chronicles of Riddick, but it was Riddick 2, The Chronicles of Riddick.
But the first movie isn't called Riddick; it's called Pitch Black.
That's true. So it's Pitch Black, then Riddick.
Yes.
I thought there had been a tagline. I thought that's what had made it so weird because this fucking years ago, but I'm recalling that they were having trouble getting people to go because they didn't realize they were related.
I don't know, but yeah, it's so the new one that's coming out is going to be called Riddick 4 Furia.
Yeah.
But the movies are technically Pitch Black, The Chronicles of Riddick, Riddick, and now Riddick 4 Furia.
Okay, so back to it. How do you feel about Riddick 3?
It was fun. I feel about that the same way I feel about Fast and Furious movies. Like, they're dumb. And they don't understand how things work. No. But it's still fun. It was, what were we just watching?
Is it Shoot 'em Up? Because it feels like it's Shoot 'em Up.
Shoot 'em Up is a blast.
But it's the same kind of thing. Stupid.
But no, so the one I was just thinking, we just watched something where I was like, oh my God, this is just like Lucy. Where, look, Lucy was fun. I enjoyed Lucy.
It was
But let's get one thing straight. That movie is wrong about everything.
I mean,
it doesn't make one correct statement beginning to end. And my wife and I were just watching something where they were talking about they were talking about some like form of science that I'm like, oh, I actually have a very loose knowledge of how this works, and that's not how that. Oh, it was what was it? We were watching something with computers, and like, look, yes, I work in IT, but I'm by no means like a top level hacker. Like honestly, I'm not even one of the greatest IT people in the world. I'm good at my job. That's all I am. And they were talking like high level computer stuff. That's what it was. It was new guy, Free Guy.
Okay. I haven't seen it.
Free Guy's a lot of fun. Okay. I enjoyed Free Guy, but they were talking about video games and just like basically how a video game works. And I'm going like, look, this is fun. Nope. Not a fucking thing you're saying about how this game would run and like what's built inside of what and how building works. Nope.
Yeah, I feel the same way sometimes when certain cop shows or military shows are talking about tactics, and I'm like, no.
The new one that's driving me nuts, watching lock picking in film and television, because I've been teaching myself how to lock pick. And now I'm watching stuff like the one that kills me is anytime they take one tool and they're like, Jimmy, the lock's open. And I'm like, you can't pick that lock with one tool. You need a tension tool and you need a picking tool. You cannot pick that lock with a singular tool. It does not work. There's a lie.
Yeah, that's funny. I always like it when they grab a knife and they stick it in the door and like that works. I'm like,
nope, nope, not even a little.
Nope, unless that thing is gonna completely like mold into the shape of some nope.
Key hand.
Oh, again, for those who don't get that, it's okay. Fucking Adventure Time. Nobody is sorry. Anyways, we got super off track here. You're gonna watch more Insidious, yes?
Yeah, I think I am. And do you happen to know, is that related to the Conjuring movies?
Oh man, now you got me. I think that I'm looking it up.
Okay, because I know the Conjuring movies have spin-offs with like Annabelle and the Nun. I just don't know if Insidious is part of that whole horror.
No, the answer is no. They're not linked to each other.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's fine because I actually don't want to dive into more than I need to. Yeah. So I'll be doing. I'll do all the Insidious and I'll try and do all the Poltergeist, including the remake. I don't know how quick that'll take, or how long that'll take, but that's going to be the goal.
I'll get there eventually.
Oh, I already have movies planned for my next couple of horror nights that I'm doing, so it's not going to be during those. And then I got to hunt them all down. Like if they're streaming somewhere, great. If I got to spend money on them, it's probably going to take me a little bit fucking longer because like I'm not dying to own Poltergeist 3 just yet.
That's true. Is 10 years too early to remake a film?
I would say for most films, yes, but I'm willing to bet somebody could come up with like oh man, wasn't this just slightly too early? And I'd have to go like, damn, you're right. That's the one. I could see it happening, but I think for the most part, yeah, I'd say probably give it 20 to 30 because that's where you saw like a lot of those, 1950s horror movies were remade in the 80s and they were dope.
Yeah,
so
that's
I
true.
think I think like your 20-30 year mark is really your sweet spot.
Well, then we're right at about time to remake 13 Ghosts.
Oh, but I believe they're making
a
13 Ghosts show, aren't they?
Is it? Is that actually happening? I thought I'd been squashed.
That comes up as the 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo, which makes me happy. Hold on, 13 Ghosts remake 13 Ghosts remake.
Well, that's the one in 2001.
Oh, that was already a remake. Wow, we're doing
yeah, it was.
Again.
I didn't hate it. I thought it was pretty good.
I had heard something, but I'm not seeing anything official. So maybe just somebody is trying to get that remade.
Well, there was a petition for Netflix to bring it back, but I don't know that carries any weight.
Okay. Yeah, but I'd be into that because I actually really did like that. I thought it was a great premise that was really wasted. And actually, like my new thing, because of how much I enjoy the Purge films, I feel like a lot of movies could use a sequel to figure themselves out. Because the first Purge is the worst one. They barely use the premise of the Purge.
It was living within
one family getting attacked in one house, and for me that was kind of a waste of that premise. And then the other movies expanded upon that,
yeah.
And so now, even with my wife was really disappointed with The Conjuring, and I was like, think of Purge. So,
you're gonna check out number 2.
Yeah, I think it's worth seeing a second one before we really.
What I find fascinating about The Conjuring is that it's when they say based on true events, that link is actually kind of fun to traverse it. Go down a Wikipedia rabbit hole on that.
Yeah,
the story, because the two folks that the story is kind of based on, I believe, the investigators. They're actually kind of a fascinating little piece of almost Americana, because you either look at them one way and they were very devout paranormal investigators or they were crazy ass charlatans. Either way, it's really fascinating how they took a premise that was very popular at the time and turned it into kind of a whole business for a very long time. And if you believe in the paranormal, then they did.
Fuck you.
No, they did too, and they fought it. So you can look at that aspect of it. If you don't, it's a fascinating story about how beliefs can be kind of turned on folks, and people get taken advantage of sometimes.
That's how Ghostbusters got started too. Dan Aykroyd was like, his family was super into paranormal research and stuff, and he wanted to make a movie about the paranormal.
Yeah, I mean, he's still super into the paranormal. Dan Aykroyd is a 100% believer.
Oh, yeah.
I actually love hearing him talk about it because he's not quite like a David Icke where he just lizard people off the deep end. Have you watched those videos?
No.
Okay, so back in the Winamp
we are days. Over time officially. Just
oh, are we? I apologize. I knew
no. Keep going.
We started late, so I was trying to keep it going. But no. Back in the Winamp days, there was these Winamp TV channels that you could go into, and one of them just 24/7, nothing but David Icke tapes. How Escaping the Matrix was one of the titles. How about all the lizard people that live in the tunnels underneath the earth? And homie it's like he's just giving a normal TED talk up there. That's how he acts.
I have friends who are actually like super sold on the whole lizard people thing. No joke. They 100% believe in lizard people. And I'm like, you know what? You do you, killer. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly. There's just some certain beliefs, but I do find it fascinating. Dan Aykroyd's not quite that bad, but listening to him talk, like he even went on like the Rogan podcast and they talked about a bunch of things. His vodka is supposed to be distilled in some sort of crystals, and that's what makes it yummy and delicious.
His vodka's not bad. I'll give him that.
Yeah, I've had it. I have a bottle right around here. You and I were supposed to kill one on a show once when we were younger. It's been a while. I don't think we
still do that.
We could, but I don't think we could anymore.
Oh, we could do it. We just wouldn't be very happy the next day.
The next day or that night, like it would end just like yeah. It'd be into that. All right, and on that note, check us out Mondays, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Pacific. We are also Tuesday nights doing still the multiplayer night on twitch.tv/Metagame Network. I also dual stream it to the YouTube in 5D podcast where you can find us Monday nights.
The YouTube.
YouTubes.
The YouTubes.
And yeah, final words, Bonsai.
YouTubes.
We're ending how we started. Just fuck awful. Bye.